Welcome to this deck-by-deck tour of Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas. Hey, it's John with Cruise Fever here, and I just sailed on Harmony of the Seas on her first cruise out of Port Canaveral. The ship was built in 2016 as the third Oasis-class ship with Royal Caribbean, which means it held the title of the world's largest cruise ship for a time. The gross tonnage is 226,963. The length is 1,188 feet. There are 2,747 staterooms with double capacity of almost 5,500 and a crew of 2,300. This was just a 3-day sailing, so I didn't have much time to put all this footage together, but let's dive right in. We're going to start off by looking at the pool deck and work our way down deck by deck. One of the first things you'll notice is the water slides up on the pool deck called the Perfect Storm. There are 2 racer water slides that start up on deck 18 and end up at the main pool, and on the opposite side is a champagne bowl style water slide, and that ends up at the beach pool, which we'll look at in a minute. Here on deck number 15 there are 4 pool areas we'll look at right now. The first is the beach pool, where the water from the pool will actually flow right up to the lounger, so you can get your feet wet while you're laying in the lounger there if you'd like. There's some chairs all around it. And then across from that is the main pool. And both the main pool and the beach pool have 2 hot tubs on either side. So there's 4 right there. We're going to cross over to the other side, past that little bar in the middle, and this is the sports pool. Here you will have the belly flop competition, some volleyball and other sporting events, and right behind that on the port side is the smoking section. So now we're going to cross to the other side of the ship, to the starboard side. You'll see Splashaway Bay, the place for the kids to cool off. There is a hot tub for the adults as well. There's even a baby splash zone with just a couple inches of water, but some places for them to cool off, and some life jackets on the ship as well for the kids to use. People often ask what it's like when the pool deck is actually full, so here is the pool deck on a sea day, so you can see how crowded it can get. But there are still plenty of these lounge chairs. They're a little bit shorter than a full lounger that go all around the pool deck and even on the deck above, which we're going to look at right now. On deck number 16, you got some great views of the pools from up here, and there's always plenty of space, I found, to kind of get away from the crowds and get some great ocean views. And you also have a great view into Central Park from the pool deck. Still on deck number 15, working our way forward to see these amazing whirlpools. There are these hot tubs on either side of the ship, and they are massive, have great views over the ocean. They're cantilevered. At night, you have these lights. There are TV screens there. Just a beautiful place. One of my favorite parts of the ship. And this is right near the solarium. You see the solarium bar at the top there. We walk down these stairs, and there's this expansive, beautiful area with plenty of sunlight, plenty of loungers. There's a couple hot tubs here. Just a great place to get away from any of the hustle and bustle of the ship and enjoy some of the best views you can get on Harmony of the Seas. So if relaxing is your thing on a cruise, it's hard to beat the solarium. On either side of the solarium are these wings that kind of jut out from the side of the ship. There's some binoculars so you can check out some views. You can see the bow of the ship there. And on the port side is this glass floor that you can walk on and see just how high you are above the sea. This is also a popular place to be during sail away. Solarium Bistro is right behind the solarium, and it's one of my favorite places to go for breakfast. It's a little less crowded, typically, than the buffet will be. It is often open for lunch as well, but check your cruise compass, because some days it's not. You can eat here for dinner as well, but you do need a reservation. So look into that. You can see some of the selections here offered during a lunch hour in these clips. There are tables and chairs outside of the Solarium Bistro as well, so you can enjoy your meal al fresco. We're on deck 15 midship, working our way towards the back of the ship now. Gonna look at the living room, which is the teen lounge. There are some video consoles there and a place where they can watch some movies and hang out. Fuel, the teen disco, is right next to this. There are a little shop right outside of the arcade as well on deck 15, Challenger's Video Arcade. There are 2 arcades on this ship. There's another on the boardwalk we'll look at in just a little bit. This one has some air hockey and skee ball and all kinds of video games there. Mini Bites offers a very convenient way to grab a meal if you're near the sports court. There's nachos, hot dogs, and hamburgers, and all kinds of desserts there as well. And it's right outside of the basketball court and the ping pong tables here. I was just on Symphony of the Seas a few months ago and noticed there was an extra pair of ping pong tables on Harmony of the Seas. They're surrounded by this glass here so you can keep the ping pong ball from going all over the place. Very nice full-size basketball court. They will also play soccer and dodgeball here throughout the day. And right across the way from the basketball court is Harmony Dunes, the mini golf course on Harmony of the Seas. A really nice course, well laid out. The zip line is right between the golf course and the basketball court here. You check your cruise compass to see what times it's open. It's just a few hours during the day usually, and it's free to try, but you might want to check the line to see if it's backed up a lot. And in the back of the ship, we have two flow riders. One where you kind of kneel down or get on your belly, and the other one is the stand-up flow rider. Always fun to watch and even more fun to try. Wipeout bar is right between the two flow riders, and right behind that is the Ultimate Abyss, the dry slide that goes all the way down to the boardwalk. So that is 10 decks all the way down. It looks ominous and scary, and it's a lot of fun, but I think most people could handle it okay. And it is dry, as I said, so you're not going to get wet or anything. And it's the quickest way to get to the boardwalk. And then you can go check out your photos. Windjammer is the buffet on Harmony of the Seas, and as you walk in, when I was on the ship, they kind of force you to walk through the hand washing station first, which was really good. Gets everybody to wash their hands, get them all clean before they come to the buffet. Nice, well-lit buffet. Usually only half of it was open, unless it was embarkation day. They open up both sides, and there was a little bit of a line then as well, a little bit of a wait. So it gets a little bit busy, especially during a sea day at lunchtime or something, but there's a Mongolian station as you see here. And there's also a crepe station, which I really enjoyed. You can see all the toppings. I love crepes on a cruise ship, so I went here about every day. From the back of the buffet, you always have these great views of the sports court as well. Now moving down to deck number 14, there is an escape room on Harmony of the Seas. It's right outside Adventure Ocean, which is where the kids will go, the youth program on Harmony. The youth program is for children ages 2 and up. You want to get them registered on the first day. Here's a little tour of some of the different areas for different age groups. There's a science lab and just some fun spaces as well. They actually have their own theater in Adventure Ocean. There's the Explorer's Room for ages 6 to 8. And a place where they can make slime and all these things. Check the cruise compass to see all the different events they have for the kids. On deck 14 midship is the card room. It's sort of a library, but without the books. So you have your computers where you can check the internet, check your email. And there's also some chessboards and some trivia sheets you can fill out. If you want to try something a little bit different for dinner, you can try Wonderland, the imaginative cuisine. It is inspired by Alice in Wonderland, as you can easily tell by the decor in these shots. And it's more of an entertaining experience as well as a dining experience. I had a chance to eat here. I think it was around $55, but you can often get discounts depending on what night of the cruise, so you can talk to the front desk about that. There are different menu options, categories to choose from, but you can also let your waiter kind of decide for you, be a little bit whimsical. The dessert I had was awesome, the caramel drizzled over it. Anyway, a great experience. Try it out sometime. We're now on deck number 9. This is Dazzles, which is right beneath Wonderland. Both have great views of the boardwalk. This is where a lot of singing and dancing takes place. Another one of my favorite places to go on Harmony, just to get away from any noise or distractions. It's a beautiful, lush garden of Central Park with the winding pathways and shops and restaurants all around. It's just a great place, whether it's day or night, to just go for a walk and get some fresh air. And these are all real plants, by the way. Some people ask about that. And you can actually get a tour. Check your cruise compass. You can get a tour of this area, and the man that helps take care of the entire facility and takes care of all the plants will explain the process and how many trees and flowers and everything there are. And it's really interesting. I didn't do it on this cruise, but on Symphony, I did that tour and really learned a lot. Take a few close-ups of some of the flowers and plants you'll find along the path of Central Park. And there's also the living wall on either side of the ship, and they kind of explain how they keep all that alive and vibrant as well. Here are some of the high-end shops you'll find in Central Park, as well as Vintages, the wine bar, right at the entrance of Central Park. In the middle, Trellis Bar is what you'll find. And Park Cafe is one of my favorite places as well to get lunch or breakfast and get a break from the bustle of the buffet. They have a lot of different options, soups and salads, and they have different cuts of meat and paninis that you can get here in the Park Cafe, and there's also seating outside. So you can enjoy Central Park, have a little meal, just a great option if you want a second option to the buffet. For breakfast, they have some great options as well, and even cereals if you'd like. And I come down here just to grab a cup of coffee sometimes, and they also have some teas. So now we'll look at some of the restaurants right off of Central Park. This is Jamie's, the Italian restaurant on board, more of a casual Italian dining restaurant. You can get plenty of great shareable appetizers, and the pastas are made in-house every day. 150 Central Park is more of an elegant restaurant using locally sourced ingredients and farm-to-ship cuisine. And Chop House Grill is the third specialty dining restaurant on Central Park. It is the steakhouse on board, and there is some outside dining as well. So you can see from this shot that Central Park is below the water park area, but the noise didn't really seem to travel down here at all, so it's always pretty quiet, and at night it transforms with all the beautiful lights. And there's also some really nice music. We're now all the way down on deck number 5 forward. Going to check out the spa. As you enter the spa, you'll see Vitality Cafe, a place where you can get some nutritional smoothies and snacks right there. The salon is right across from Vitality Cafe, where you can get your hair done, get a manicure, pedicure. And if you wanted to get a massage or check out the thermal suite, you can come this way. We'll be going down these stairs, and you'll see the entrance to the thermal suite here. You can buy day passes or buy pass for the whole week if you'd like. It's not a huge thermal suite. It's slightly larger, though, than the one on Symphony. You'll see there's actually more loungers. I think there's only 5 or 6 on Symphony. So they added a couple more, and they made the relaxation room a little smaller to make room for extra loungers. So there's a steam room, and there's a dry sauna here, and a nice shower so you can rinse off as well right here in the thermal suite. Here's an example of one of the massage rooms for couples. And there's also a room you can reserve that has a hot tub in it. You could have your own little private time here. You can reserve this for an hour or so. This is the relaxation room where you will be before or after your massage. You fill out your paperwork here. They also have a little drink station so you can hydrate. There's a really great fitness center. This is on deck 6 on Harmony. And it needs to be a big gym to have all these passengers to be able to use it at one time. So they got tons of machine. See the free weights there. They got the TRX, and you have the yoga mats and exercise balls and bikes and everything. It even has a room for spinning classes. So just a really great gym. I really like the equipment they have in there, and a lot of natural light that comes in those portholes on the side. And if you don't want to use a treadmill, you want to use a jogging track instead, you can actually access that from the gym. You just go down those steps. We'll look at the jogging track later on. That's down on deck number 5. Deck 6 aft is where you will find the boardwalk, really cool place in the ship. There's a Zoltar fortune teller there. You have the dog house where you can get a brat or hot dog or anything. This is all included with the cruise fare as well. And you might have noticed there's a Starbucks. It's not in the promenade on this ship like it is on Symphony. It's actually right there on the boardwalk. It's $5 or $6, I guess, for some of the coffees there, but a really nice Starbucks, and I like how it is in this area of the ship instead of the promenade. There's also some outdoor seating for the Starbucks. So there are some of the shops there as well in the boardwalk. You got some like a sunglass shop. You can get some clothing, some beach wear. And they also have the Royal Caribbean shop where you can get your t-shirts and all kinds of Royal Caribbean paraphernalia. And this is where you'll find that other arcade I was telling you about. It's a little bit smaller than the one up on the sports deck. And the one on Symphony is actually across the way on the other side, right next to where Starbucks is on this ship. We'll look at a few shots of the carousel that's popular with the kids there on the boardwalk. You'll notice some of the balconies overlook the boardwalk. You can also get balconies that face inward at Central Park. So there's a little bit more noise here on the boardwalk, so kind of take that into account when you're booking your cabin. And here's a cool place for the kids to climb through. I saw some adults in there as well, but that is for the kids. And here's just an overview. I have an aerial shot of the entire boardwalk. As we'll look at a couple of the places where you can eat while you're down there. Johnny Rockets, of course. Great hot dogs and hamburgers and shakes that you can get there. You can eat outside or you can eat in. There is an extra fee for eating here. And right across from that is Sabor. This is the Taqueria and Tequila Bar. There's often games that are played on these TVs here. There's some NBA playoff games being played while I was on this cruise. You have some nice open-air seating, kind of overlooks the boardwalk. Keep in mind there is an extra fee for eating here as well. Moving to the back of the ship, we have the 2 rock climbing walls. They are 43 feet high, offer different tracks of difficulty and different heights that you can climb. There's a bell about halfway if you don't want to go all the way up to the top. And right behind that is Aqua Theater. A lot goes on at Aqua Theater besides the shows. There's often a welcome that takes place here. They have movies that are shown on those screens on the side. And here are some of the performances. This was called The Fine Line that took place during my cruise. There is some strobe lighting that takes place, so keep that in mind in case that's an issue. But look at these guys jumping off these platforms that are about 50 feet above the water in these tiny little pools. A lot of visually stunning effects that go on with the lighting and with these guys and these kind of bouncing, I don't even know what you call this, but it was kind of cool. And you even have the tightrope walker all the way from the top of Aqua Theater. So really neat show to check out. Make sure you get a reservation if you want to have better seats. You can go there without a reservation, but you'll go in about 10 minutes before the show instead of being able to grab a good seat. We'll do a little tour of the promenade before we look at each individual thing. There's always something going on in the promenade. In the middle there, they often have sales on watches and t-shirts. You have the giant spinning head, which is an interesting piece of artwork there in the promenade. Each Oasis-class ship has a different kind of artwork in this area, including the classic car. On Symphony, it's the crumpled up Volkswagen Bug. This one has this classic car. If you know what it is, let us know in the comments below. And right behind the car is Rising Tide Bar, the bar that takes you from this deck number 5, all the way to deck number 8, which is where you'll find yourself in the middle of Central Park. And for those that love to shop, there's another place on this ship where you can do that. Right on the promenade, here are some of the storefronts. Next cruise is also in the promenade. This is where you're going to go. If you want to get a really good discount on your next cruise, you can book it while you're still on the ship. You always get a better deal. Boleros is the lounge for Latin dancing. They also have some classes throughout the day, and there were some other events that took place. I think adult coloring went on in here at one point on a sea day. All kind of games and events go on at On Air as well, which is right across from Boleros. This is where karaoke will take place. There's also where they will show some of the games. There's a bar right there, and they'll show some of the sporting events on those screens. There are also some game show style kind of things that'll take place in On Air. And Shore Excursions is not a desk on the promenade. It's more just like an area where you have these tablets, and you can look at all the excursions for each port, and there are people there to help you as well if you have questions. Boot and Bonnet is another little Irish pub that has live music that takes place throughout the day. And pretty much all throughout the day, you can get your pizza at Sorrento's. They also have some non-pizza options, some antipasta, but always have pizza fresh and ready to go. During peak lunch times, there might be a little bit of a line, but I always just went whenever there was no line at all. And Cafe Promenade is right across from that. It's a great place to grab a free cup of coffee, get some tea. There are also some specialty coffees that you can buy, but all these little pastries and treats all are free, included with your cruise, so grab a tiramisu or a parfait or something like that to go with your coffee. Guest services is right next to that. They did a great job, by the way, of making sure that line stayed short. People would come to you while you're in line to help you out. Bionic Bar is right across from that. You could watch these little robots do their thing. And we go up one deck. Schooner Bar kind of overlooks the promenade. There's a This is where you get your Piano Man style music, a lot of live music that takes place. It's also a good place to watch some of the parades that take place in the promenade. This is one of the live performers. And some of the seats that overlook the promenade. And just across the way, we have Focus. This is where you can buy your pictures or look at them all on the screen. You could also buy some camera equipment and tripods and GoPro accessories, or even GoPros themselves in this area. So this is the embarkation deck, and the running track is right here on deck number 5. Awesome aft views from this section of the ship. It's always very quiet and peaceful. A few people running by, but not many. And here's the chart to see how far you need to go to get a mile or get the distance in that you want to go. I don't have a lot of shots of the dining room. There's 3 main dining rooms here, and I kind of blend them all together. There's 3 different levels, and I'll let you take a peek at what they look like here. Silk and the Grand Restaurant are for those with My Time dining, and then for those with a first or second seating, you'll eat at American Icon, which is down on deck 3. And if you do have My Time dining, it is still recommended you get a reservation, by the way. So let's check out Royal Theater. This theater seats 1,400 people. They will often have a first and second showing. On this cruise, they were showing Grease, and here are some clips of Columbus the Musical, kind of a satire on Columbus's cousin or nephew, Marvin. It's kind of funny. So I'll show you a few clips of what that was like here. And if you get a reservation, you can make sure you have good seats. Often you can get in without one, but just wanted to pass that along. Now we're going to go down to deck number 4, which is where we will find Entertainment Place. You can get some popcorn before a show if you'd like. Jazz on 4 is down there. I'm sure you can guess what style of music is often played in this lounge. And during the day, this space is often used for private functions when it's not being used for some jazz music. The attic is where the stand-up comedy will take place. It's a cozy little environment. There is a bar in the back as well. You also need reservations, or should get reservations, if you want to see one of the comedians in there. Just wanted to show a little clip of Diamond Club, which is also right there in the middle of Entertainment Place. And Studio B is where the ice shows take place. Often the ice is also opened up for those that want to skate on their own. But the show they played during my cruise was 1887, a really well done show. Really enjoyed the skaters and the music and just how they put the shows together. Really entertaining. In Studio B, all the seats, it feels like you're just right up in the action. You have ice kind of flying up in your face and everything if you're right in that front row. But the performers did just an excellent job. And this was shown several times throughout the cruise, so if you couldn't make one of them because of another reservation or dinner or something, usually you can find a slot where you can go see a show. And this performer was one of the special guests on the ship, and just got a huge standing ovation after this crazy performance he did. Just really neat. And right behind Studio B on deck number 4 is Casino Royale. This is usually where I put a little witty remark about leaving a donation to the cruise ship, but that's getting a little old now, so I need a new kind of catchphrase to use during this part of the video. So if you can help me out, maybe you can think of something. Izumi's another specialty restaurant if you want some teppanyaki or sushi. They got a hibachi bar right there. It's a really neat place. It is specialty dining, so an extra cost. Get a reservation. Check it out. And I want to give you a cabin tour. This is on deck 14, an outward or ocean-facing balcony, I should say. So I'll give you a little tour of what the room looks like. I found the cabin nice and spacious. They have a nice vanity over the desk there with a light, kind of a round vanity mirror. Nice large TV screen. Not a lot of TV channels, but they had some on-demand movies and things you could watch. There's an outlet next to the bed on one side, not on the other, for charging your phone or device. I think I have a shot of that later on. So take a look at the restroom. Does have the nice glass, solid, or acrylic, I guess it is. But it's not that flimsy curtain that kind of sticks to you, you know? So I much prefer this style of shower on a cruise ship. Do have some shampoo or soap right there as well. There is an outlet in the bathroom there. That is for shavers, okay? It's not for hair dryers or anything. Don't bring your hair dryer. It will get confiscated. There is a hair dryer in the room for you. So that's for electric shavers. If you need to plug them in, they have it right there handy in the bathroom. And there's two different closets. It's nice to kind of separate the closets. So if you have two different people that want to have their own little space, you have one here and there's kind of two rows. There's a lower row where you can put some hangers and things. You have a nice large couch, very comfortable just to kind of take a nap on if you want. And a couple USBs, and they got three 110s outlets right there. So plenty of spaces to plug in all your devices. So you really don't even have to bring a power strip or anything like that. Recommend you don't bring something like that on your ship. And here's the, I had nothing in my freezer that day, did I? I think it was filled later on, I'm not sure. And I don't usually use the fridge. So, and here's another closet. So you got plenty of space and storage, and that's also where the safe is. And there you see you do have an outlet right next to the bed, only on this side, not on the other side. And we'll take a look at the balcony. I like how both of the loungers are able to kind of recline all the way back, and you have a little footstool as well. So you got some great views, and you can kind of see over the cantilevered pools over the side of the ship in this shot as well. And that about does it on this tour of Harmony of the Seas by Royal Caribbean. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing the ship. If you have any questions, or I missed something, or I didn't answer something properly, or I totally butchered something, please let me know. It's okay, I can take a little bit of criticism. If you do like these kind of videos, you can subscribe. This is what we do. We love cruising. We have cruise fever, and we love to interact with other people that also have cruise fever. So join us along the way.